Hey, sorry that took longer than I was expecting. Because instead of just doing one thing, I ended up doing two things, one of which was get food. So, as one does, what in the world is this? I got an achievement 44 minutes ago. 10 people chatting in the same... 10 people chatting at the same time to unlock additional VIP badges. Oh my! I guess I have more VIP badges at this point. Cool, I guess. Anyways, let me see what video we might want to watch as I eat. I'm like, there's videos that I want to watch, but they're also probably fairly profane. Let's do this one, I guess.
This is part 2 of my...
Is that part 2? Well, then we have to watch part 1. There we go. Also for context, this is Jazz's video titled I made the world's smallest art supplies. Then the next one is about him using them. Good night. Oh no. Well, if I didn't have a reason to vacuum before, I definitely do now.
This is the Jazza Micro #2 pencil, and for the rest of this video I'm going to create an entire line of art supplies, micro art supplies. The amount of time and effort it took to just make this little guy, and yet, oh my god, is it satisfying. It can be so tricky to focus on the teeny weeny details as you're working on something, and then also have the patience to make it, because it takes time. But I want you to come on this journey with me and benefit from it in the same way I do, by practicing your ability to focus on the minutiae. So I'm going to make sure you pay attention by hiding an Amazon gift card that looks something like this somewhere in the video. These are the spots where it's been hidden in other videos, and as you can see, we've been pretty bloody sneaky with where we put them, and you guys are really good at finding them, so I'm going to get even sneakier. Now, what else am I going to make? I've got a pencil, so I will need an eraser. I mean, that's going to be one of the easiest ones to do, let's face it. So I'll do a micro eraser, and I'm also going to do a pen. Now, the way I think I'm going to have to do this is by using one of these pens. These are my .05 fine liners. They're the smallest fine liners I own. So there's that, and then a teeny weeny brush. I think that's probably it. It's so weird how making tiny stuff takes so much friggin' time. It's insane. And you know what else is insane? The amount of people who use the internet without privacy or safety. I want to thank NordVPN for sponsoring this video and making this project.
And she just a snows bug in the stuck on a semi-truck heading to Norway. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, Dreamer? See, now that I've seen this, I want to make sure that I'm going to pull up a video here. I feel like too many people do not realize.
But her achievements were...
So, this video is by Tom Scott. This video is sponsored by Blank VPN.
But her achievements were never recognized in her lifetime. In 1942, penniless and forgotten, she died of polio. She couldn't protect herself from viruses, but you can protect your computer by using a VPN.
Okay, look, I just want to say, I do not want to start drama with people who take sponsorships from VPN companies.
With a VPN, all the data you send and receive goes through an encrypted tunnel, so no one can see it. Without a VPN, every time you connect to free Wi-Fi in a hotel or a cafe, you're risking people stealing your passwords, your banking details,
I can hear you
and
now.
your private data.
Jeez, I wasn't
That's
talking.
not true. You've probably seen the adverts at the end of every educational channel's videos, and look, it's just that I do this sort of computer security stuff. I am supposed to know about it and to understand it. Like, if I took a sponsorship from a boat manufacturer and then it turned out that the boats sank, that would suck. But I'm not expected to know about boats. I am expected to know about VPNs, virtual private networks, and some of the claims that VPN adverts make are wrong. Password stealing over Wi-Fi was a serious threat a few years ago. Someone could run an ARP spoofing attack, make their computer pretend to be the network hub, and steal every plain text password that went through that Wi-Fi network. It required very little technical knowledge. Or they could compromise the hub itself and look at all the traffic that was going through it. But you know what else sends data through an encrypted tunnel? Every single website with a padlock in the browser, every iPhone app since 2016, every Android app since 2018, anything that sends any sort of personal data now uses a trusted encrypted tunnel, HTTPS, that padlock. And unless you're using websites or apps from the past, if anyone tries to intercept your data, it won't work. Now, people on the network can see what sites you're connecting to, so just the name of your bank, and they could see the contents of dated websites, the ones where the browser now shows not secure. But that's all. No passwords, no bank details. Those attacks don't work anymore.
Thing is, what I love about this video mostly with me isn't the fact that, you know, it's because it's kind of a sort of like truth bomb, like, you know, wake up sheeple. I'm so sorry. But what I love most about it is the fact that it's like, this stuff already exists. You're not needing to be concerned. And it was funny because I think I'd actually just watched a game theory video where they had Nord sponsor them. This thing is, and a little bit later, he ends up showing what a VPN is really useful for, but, you know, I'll just let it play out for now.
One VPN company even had their advert banned by the UK regulator because of those misleading claims.
VPNs use military-grade encryption to keep your data safe.
Military-grade encryption means AES, which is the same encryption that's baked into every web browser and app. You're using military-grade encryption to watch this video. The claim's not wrong, it's just not special either.
Yeah.
Plus, a VPN stops your internet service provider spying on what you're doing online.
Now, that is true, to an extent. Yes, without a VPN, your internet service provider, your ISP, can see what domain names you've been connecting to. There can be very...
So basically, here you show, oh, your ISP can sell your information. No, your ISP can say, hey, this guy watches a ton of YouTube and goes on Steam a lot. That's it. Like, there's not really anything, like, I mean, of course, if you're, like, on Pornhub 24/7, or you're going to whatever other shady websites, like, yeah, sure, not great, but they can't really do much else. It's, because, like, the claim of, oh, well, they can sell your information, they can sell the information that you've been to websites, not what's been on those websites.
Very good reasons to hide those. Your country may allow ISPs to sell that data to advertisers or to build up a profile on you. Maybe you are studying at a fundamentalist Christian college and you don't want university administrators knowing that you are questioning your faith or questioning your sexuality. Some ISPs also prioritize some apps, sites and traffic types over others, and a VPN means that they can't do that. Or maybe your government is planning to introduce an ill-advised and often delayed block on adult content, and you want to work around it. That's all reasonable. Metadata does give away a lot of information. Wanting to keep that private is a fair idea. But that's not what a lot of the VPN ads are implying. They're implying that your ISP can read the content of your messages. And again, if there's a padlock in the browser or if you're using a modern app, that's not true. And if you do use a VPN, all you're doing is changing who can see that metadata. Your ISP can't anymore, but the VPN company can. Because at their end of the tunnel, they have to look at that metadata to work out where to send your traffic to. But maybe that's worth it for you. And besides,
a good VPN doesn't keep any logs on who you're talking to.
It is a brave move for a VPN not to keep any logs, given that it's true their service will inevitably be used for a lot of really awful illegal stuff. Some do claim that. Some have even brought in independent auditors to try and prove that they don't keep any logs, and you can't have 100% certainty of that, but they have got as close as you reasonably can. So yes, if you are planning an assassination and your priority is absolutely covering your tracks, then sure, I guess a VPN might be worth it. To customers, a VPN that doesn't keep logs is indistinguishable from one that's been compromised by hackers.
See, though, communist would be no VPN. I said it is, See, though, you said communist, not communism, so technically you didn't. Anyways, hello, Mr. Berta. I'm assuming that's how I pronounce your name. Sorry if that is not. Welcome. Currently, we're just chilling and learning about all of the misinformation behind VPNs.
Or that's been given little government...
Sorry, I'm French, so my grammar is crap. Now you're good.
Black box that they don't understand but they have to plug into their systems and not tell anyone about. Or from a VPN where a single employee has been bribed and has started logging things for just a few accounts. To be clear, I do not think any of the VPN services are a front for the FBI or Russian mobsters or some state-sponsored, plausibly deniable intelligence operation. Genuinely, they are almost certainly not, and I do not want to scaremonger. Any company that was found to be logging stuff without permission would be bankrupt. Soon after, it would be a very, very bad business decision. And the enormous amount of money that VPN companies suddenly have probably comes from over-enthusiastic venture capital firms. Actually, almost certainly. But if you wanted to see what those paranoid, security-conscious people are connecting to, and you wanted to install software on their systems that is designed to read all their network traffic and then redirect it to a single choke point, then setting up a VPN service with a huge advertising budget would be a great way to do it.
And if you use a VPN, you can connect to streaming services around the world as if you were in those countries.
And that's the real reason a lot of people use VPNs. I go to China or somewhere else that blocks off access to a lot of websites. That's a fair reason.
China, yeah. Is it legacy? It's a very smart looking wolf.
Do you want to watch another country's streaming content or download just enormous amounts of BitTorrents without being tracked? Those are valid uses of VPNs, even if they are legally questionable. It's just that great for pirating stuff and getting around the law is the sort of marketing that gets a company in trouble. And we stop bad people stealing your passwords is the sort of marketing that scares people into buying something that they might not need. So, with that in mind, I wrote a more honest advert for VPN services, and I found a company that was willing to sponsor the video. Unfortunately, they kept asking for changes, and we disagreed on those, so at the last minute, I have had to blank their name out.
Do you want to hide your sexuality from your college administrators? Do you want to download huge...
No, not afraid. Don't worry. I do not ever assume anything of that regard. I mean, basically, the way that I would know, or at least question, would be if that was followed up by like 7 ooh-woos and notices your bulge. At that point, yes, I would probably figure you're either joking or potentially a furry. You're in the clear.
Huge amounts of pirated content with an extremely low, but not zero risk of being found out.
Let's listen.
Do you want to hide your sexuality from your college administrators? Do you want to download huge amounts of pirated content with an extremely low, but not zero risk of being found out? Are you planning an assassination and want to hide your
Love that
tracks?
one.
Then you need VPN.
I'm assuming it's express, because it definitely looks like there's 2 syllables there. And I don't know what else it would be, unless it's like, yeah, express.
The best choice for gay people, pirates, assassins, and gay pirate assassins. VPN is a tool that can be used both for good and evil.
Unless it's
and
Tunnel
it's
Bear.
extremely unlikely to be a front for the FBI.
It says ooh 7 times and strongly stares at you, but you won't. Ooh. Wait.
Oh, what are you waiting for?
Wait, am I a furry?
But you should know, unless you're being personally targeted by well-funded hackers using exploits that the world doesn't know about yet, it doesn't make your passwords and financial data any more safe. They're already pretty safe. And if you are being targeted by hackers like that, you have bigger problems. But if you want to hide your identity, pretend you're in another country, or make sure your connection is secure as you work out the lethal doses of particular chemicals, then go to .com/honest for...
That was a lot of money left on the table. Lot of money.
I know too much about the furry community. I wish I could be dead. Maybe not. Anyways. Yeah, Jamie, you there still? If you are, let's do something, because I don't know what to do right now. Yeah? Okay. Here, let's hop in a call and figure out what we can do. Jez is a fun boy.
Give me a sec, I'm muted for a little bit.
Okay.